It's a beautiful day in Copenhagen.
That's right by the entrance. Hey, Lucky, how you going?
Hi, T. Say hi to T.
Hopefully everyone's doing fantastic today.
Okay, so we got here the fabulous Cyril. Hi. Yeah.
I am here to protest once again. Here we are.
Freckles, gold freckles, and St. Patrick's Day goods to give away to people. Let's see what's going on at the Church of Scientology, Colorado. Two more streets.
Where people can join Scientology. I see.
Look at all these beautiful people there. Looks great, right? Scientology is a cult.
It's Saturday in the middle of Copenhagen.
Yes.
Everybody's out, the weather's gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah, so lots and lots of people out.
Yes.
Either call. Yeah.
This is just letting people know in the neighborhood that Scientology is here and that it's a threat.
Everything that Hubbard has written in Dianetics and written completely, really, is not backed up by any evidence. Where's the evidence? Where's the science behind it?
So we have 1,000 of these cards.
Fsciento.space.
Yes.
Then all the facts about the abusive cult of Scientology. I don't know if you can see it properly.
All right. I haven't counted these. It's going to be too long. Hang on. So this is a list. This is a list of names of people whose lives have been cut short because of the doctrines of Scientology.
Are you against it? Yeah, we're against it. I grew up in it as a child, and then when I was 9 years old, I was made to sign a contract to work for the rest of my life for them until I dropped dead. That was the contract.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was because I am homosexual, and you're not allowed to be homosexual in Scientology. And I grew up my entire life knowing that homosexuality is the worst of the worst, and they are horrible people. And then when I was about 16, 17, that's when I realized I was gay, and I thought I was the most horrible person. And then I tried to commit suicide 3 times. And Scientology didn't have anything to do with that because it's bad PR. It looks bad. And so I then went out of Scientology, the workforce, but I was still a Scientologist, still believe, but then I was for the first time in my life outside of Scientology. And I was thrown into the real world. I had no idea how the world works. I was never on the internet. I was 21 years old. I was never on the internet, never had a phone, no idea how anything works, because you grew up in a bubble, so you don't know anything outside of that. And so slowly but surely I learned about normal people, and how normal people work, and I realized normal people are very nice people, because I was told everybody's evil basically, we're the only good ones. And then I realized, oh no, actually they're really nice people.
Basically, I was born in Stockholm, Sweden, and when I was 2 years old, my mother and father were recruited to the Sea Organization, and we moved then from Sweden to America, and I grew up there in the Cadet Org in Clearwater at Flag. Yeah. And I was in the Sea Org at Flag, and then I left the Sea Org in November 2001, and I moved back to Sweden, and I was like a believer still for a long time, for almost like 15 years. And then I finally figured out it was a cult. I woke up. That was maybe 2017.
You were there right when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Right? And what did they say about that?
It was our fault. I mean,
probably my favorite tidbit.
Use those words, right? But there was like this missive from David Miscavige that was like, you guys, this is what happens when you're not clearing the planet fast enough. And I took it quite literally as, and then we got a lot of punishment.
Wow. Okay. And that didn't cause you to leave yet. Well, because that was right in the precipice, right? Interesting. So you had some independent. Okay.
I mean, so you know, the Sea Org schedule is already like 16 hours of work a day.
Right.
And then on top of that, we were being punished with extra manual labor after.
Oh wow! This is used as an excuse, kind of.
Because of 9/11.
Wow.
After about 2 months of consistent extra punishment, extra hard labor, after our 16-hour schedule, I had enough.
How are you doing? I'm all right. Yeah, good. Have you seen any Scientologists that you recognize? Anyone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
The old ones.
Yeah, the old ones.
I tried to speak to two of them.
Yeah.
That must know where my mother is, but they ignore me and don't want to talk to me.
Yeah. And your mother, where is she?
She should be here.
Oh, right here.
Well, the last time I know her.
Yeah. Okay.
The last 20 years she was working there.
Yeah. And how is that for you, knowing that she might be right there and you can't go in? Or...
Frustrating, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's similar when I was at the protest in October at St. John, because my mother is also there.
So she's in the Sea Org.
She's in the Sea Org, yeah.
And my mom is still in the Sea Org at FLAC. We've been disconnected for 2 years now.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how she's doing or anything.
The city whispers under the signs of bow. Let's glow. The council gathers, its puppets the show. Lines drawn on paper, they vanish.
As you may know, the Church of Scientology has been planning for several years to build a large event hall on the property just south of the Flag Building. As part of the project approval process, in December, they submitted a vacation right-of-way for a one-block portion of Garden Avenue. The city is required to respond to that vacation request.
Mark Bunker. The loss of a block-long city street will not hurt Clearwater. The construction of a large LRonHubCult hall will. Hubbard's unfortunate choice of Clearwater back in 1975 was the moment when our downtown's fate was doomed. It has been radioactive ever since. It may not be possible to stop the construction of the LRonHubCult Hall, a monument to the biggest humbug of the 20th century, but you don't have to make it easy. Hold off on selling the street until Miscavige comes through with everything he promised. His people have been flying in from around the world for decades, spending all their time and money inside Scientology's properties. They promised there'd be tens of thousands of people coming to the streets. There have not been. All of these people have been coming here. The downtown's dead. I urge you to hold on to the street. It may be the only chip you have left. If you do give Miscavige what he wants, at the very least, rename Franklin Street Lisa McPherson Way in her honor. Give that hall an address that will stand as a true reminder of Scientology's legacy in this city.
I hope the people who reject this go to Rome and see that the Vatican is there. Clearwater, I wish, would be like Rome. And I just would like you to sign this. Let's all get along and bring prosperity to Clearwater. Thank you.
Wow, she's delusional.
Hello and good morning to you. I would really like you to take notice as to what is going on in Clearwater, Florida today. This is what we are fighting against. Secretly, behind the scenes, a street is being taken away today. Don't let it happen in LA. Be the pebble that collapses a wall. Please and thank you. Love you, bye.
I expect you to not go for the street vacation for the cult of Scientology. They do not own a street. You cannot make a Vatican City.
By blocking off that street, they
are further isolating and protecting their brainwashing for the members. It's been proven that it's a human trafficking cult, and we're just making that more accessible to them. We're making it easier for them to human traffic and enslave people.
Another item I'd like to discuss is the appalling fact that that street is named after a convicted felon. L. Ron Hubbard was the person who wrote this book in indoctrination instructions to have this cult formed and damaged a lot of people, children, communities, and just human rights violations of so many innocent people.
So I have quite a bit of background on that. And I have to tell you that the street vacation of LRH doesn't meet any of the typical criteria for a vacation. There's no benefit to the public. There's only detriment. Another real important issue is that there are no less than 12 buildings on that section of roadway that do not have any other access than LRH. If you vacate this roadway, and knowing Scientology and their past practices, they can cause a lot of problems for those people and put them in dire situations if there's ever an emergency. They have no regard for the public, and that's proven by their voluntary closures. The city loses control of the infrastructure at this point, and you're going to be at the will of Scientology.
You guys are not owned by Scientology. You guys will do what's right. I have faith in you guys. Do everything to stop the street vacation, please. And turn it into metered parking on that street to get the city money. City always needs money, so help the city out with parking too. Parking's always a struggle.
I just want to recap what everybody else has said and voice my support of everything stated already. And just do a gentle reminder that I'm not speaking about Scientology trying to take over public property as much as I'm trying to remind you all that this is not just a wacky cult. It is becoming more and more known that they are an incredibly child abusive, indoctrinating, elder abused, human trafficking, mind controlling group with a lot of money, and to stand with them or support them will not look well or do well for you in the future.
You know Phil Anderson? He works in the cafeteria by chance. If so, can you tell him his daughter Megan said hello? Anytime you want to leave, my friend, you're more than welcome. I'm always out here, okay? My name's Matthew. Have a beautiful day.
I would like to propose that L. Ron Hubbard Way be renamed in honor of all the abused children in Scientology then and now. So many have taken their own lives. We must honor the children.
There's like the people he pricked me. I was just crying on the floor until like this was like it was something. Was that cool? He told me I was actually starting to get worried.
Those first two little kids that came up to me, the one that was real chatty, that
You raised yourself?
that I got to plant that seed in his heart. When they first came up, you guys have no idea how much I wanted to give them some chalk and tell them, hey, go down if you want to chalk, go down and just chalk down, a little bit further away from me. It really hurt my heart that I could just be like, hand them some chalk and be like, hey, here you go have some fun.
I'm not good for a cat.
Because if I did, those kids would have gotten in a lot of trouble.
Good morning, ladies. How you doing today? Happy Tuesday. You guys have a beautiful day.
Good morning, Commission, Chiefs, Fire Department. Appreciate you and everything you do very much. Here about the same situation. I'm very concerned about now that the Church of Scientology, and they're getting more as they get their permits to close the street down. They have for 30 years. They block the fire lanes. Now they've been putting a lot of pressure on the fire department to say that it's because they're under siege and all these, violent criminals, and it's not true. There are protesters who are human rights advocates and who have a lot of issues with what's happening behind those walls.
Morning, sir. How we doing? Morning. How long you been in Scientology?
Since '76.
Oh, wow. Do you know Phil Anderson? He works down here in the cafeteria.
No.
His daughter Megan. If you see him, if you happen to see him, let me know his daughter Megan. Say hello.
Okay.
My name's Matthew.
Oh, I'm Dallas.
And and a lot of former victims who feel unheard, but they are not under siege. If anyone who's ever been assaulted, it's actually their people assaulting the protesters. But they would like the fire department to believe that they need extra protection, and therefore they can disobey the rules to have an open fire lane.
I want to say there is a street vacation unlawfully being taken on a public street, LRonHubbard Way, and the city is broke and needs money. How do you do that? I'll give you a very bulletproof legal way of doing it. You don't even have to harass protesters, city attorney, with malicious prosecution of charges. I'll tell you how you can do that. You can install legitimate parking meters, and you can also back collect on over $1.25 million for violation of 5611 and 5612 unlawful blockade of the public right-of-way on LRonHubbard Way and Catalina and Fountain Avenue. That's how you do it. You can also punish them with 647 PC. That's a criminal misdemeanor. Their executives hold them in jail for a year, $2,500 per fine, per violation, per day. Each one is a new case. Throw them in jail. Throw them in the court system, just like you're doing to activists. There you go. Make money the legitimate way, not through your scummy programs like Inside Safe.
It's true. Can't lie. I don't know what he lied about. That's all true.
So I got a bunch of motions today. Here's with me right now. She got the early cab. I've been printing fucking papers. I think I cut down a redwood tree today for the amount of papers that I put together.
There are two separate cases. There are his felony cases and his misdemeanor cases. He got a continuance, unsurprisingly. He has pleaded not guilty in both cases. And he did remark that for the first one, which was the felony case, that he wanted to represent himself. He kind of felt like the court-appointed district attorney doesn't simply have the time to look at all the discovery. There's pages upon pages of discovery to look through. Probably a lot that will put Scientology on the spot and not particularly look good for them. It should be remarked that Scott is not planning on representing himself for the entire time. He does want to connect with Shaheen Mansouri, but you have to realize that payment logistics of this. He has to be very careful, because if Mansouri showed up for 3 of these preliminary hearings, DOA could be looking at $60,000 instead of perhaps a more reasonable $30,000. So all of these little hearings add up, and DOA is certainly competent enough to be able to handle himself with these early things. Once the thick of the trial starts, then yes, he'll probably need an attorney. But timing is everything. But for the other hearing in the misdemeanor case, DOA connected with a pretty on-the-ball court-appointed attorney. Seemed pretty passionate and seemed pretty eager to want to defend this case.
She's like, this is like a huge amendment thing, and the Los Angelans, that's kind of a hot topic right now, and if you're willing to go to trial for that, she's like, the worst that you could get is, possibly 60 days, which half of that is 90 days, half of that's 45 days, and that's maximum. So, and she had looked over the case, she kind of knew about it. She talked about how, like, the group, she's like, man, I'm really impressed at the group and your guys' group and how, like, organized you are. And I was like, well, we're not organized at all, which is kind of funny, but chat holds us together.
I appreciate everyone who's allowed me to, with your donations and everything, allow me to actually fight this shit and take on Scientology. This shit's huge. This is not just about me. Hell yeah, it's about me. It's a self-serving interest, but there's a bigger cause. There's the planters, there's the road closures, There's a SWAT. There's so much that is entailed into this shit, and hopefully Discovery pulls out some of the safe pointing of LAPD and exposes more of that. I look forward to seeing the footage. We're going to FOIA request request in Discovery the parking garage where they impounded the car, the body cam footage of them searching the car. We had 130 different aliases for the Church of Scientology, from Narcon to Volunteer Ministries to AOLO or AOSO.
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm a disabled vet. It's hard. They got burned out. They stole all my stuff, and I'm just trying to get some clothes and odds and ends.
Yeah.
It's bad news.
We'll see what they'll do for you. If they don't, come back and find me. See what I can help you out with. Oh, they locked the doors on him. Are you kidding me? You want me to go buy you something to eat or something? You want something over at Wendy's or?
Well, they won't help me. Fuck it. Get it.
Well, you want to eat some lunch real quick? Want to go over to Wendy's? Want to buy you some meal?
No, I just ate something. I appreciate it though.
You need a water?
Nah, just want to get a cigarette.
Okay.
Today is your lucky day.
Baby.
I'm getting you cigarettes. He's live streaming, and so we heard him, and we heard what you were saying about Scientology. Yeah, I was born and raised in the cult. No, I'm out now.
You're out, right?
My father's stuck in it. Yeah. My family, my whole mom. My mom's at the Gold Base in the Sea Org. 55 years now.
You know what it is? It's based on all the Manchurian candidates and all the brainwashing techniques of the original
MK Ultra. And that's Scientology. That's what they do. They take children and they treat them like adults.
And they put them on the Sea Org for 2 years.
Yeah, I signed the
now she knows.
contract.
And they're
I signed it. I signed it at 4 years old, 8 years old, and 13. I'm here to buy you cigarettes and whatever Matt wants.
I'm good. Thank you so much.
Go get whatever you want. Whatever you want. I love that you're aware of the dangers of the cult of Scientology.
I'm so happy to be on the pod. If this podcast is streaming,
live stream.
We're live streaming right now. I got 185 people
See,
watching.
look at you see.
if it's
right there.
streaming, wow, And once again, Military Mike. You know, Hollywood.
Military Mike.
We're here. We're with all the Scientologists who believe in what they believe in. Well, you know what? You can pick up a bag of dog shit. It's still dog shit. LRonHubbard, war hero? I don't really think so. It's all it is a Manchurian candidate with a Band-Aid on it. It's brainwashing. It's taking children and wiping their minds clean.
Yep.
Who puts a 2-year-old or 4-year-old kid on the Sea Org and they make him walk the plank
Yep.
if he's not doing the right thing and keel haul him into
In front
the
of
water?
everybody.
Wow. It's so bad, folks. And now the fundraising, they're making themselves look like they're little angels. They're helping people. No, they're not. They're taking people's lives away from them. And they're making them sell books and periodicals and become slaves to this church. And believe me, if you don't earn, you're not even worthy of it. It's basically like organized crime. You're out there and you're taking things from people with force. It may be a mental kind of a force, but it's a type of extortion. It's not a religion.
What was your impression of Hubbard?
He smelled bad. He was very drunk. He had bad breath as well. And he was not a very nice man. And frankly, everybody else at the meetings ignored him. They just shunned him. And he was so full of himself. And he kept on trying to make speeches to us. And we should all start a religion. You're writing for 2.5 cents a word. That's ridiculous. You can make a fortune. You can become rich overnight.
We have the SP chef, we have Bianca, we have Mr. LRonHubCult, we have Kirby's mom, It's very awkward, but I am Anne-Catherine chef. Look at this streaky face of this lady.
So Michelle goes by Rumble Rambles TO. You'll see her in the chat. We've got Christina Kerf. And this is her buddy Mike.
We stand together side by side, laughing, dancing, no place to hide.
Scientology is a human trafficking cult. Stay warm. Yeah. Can you do the river dance for us? Damn. I thought we have an Irish woman in the house to do something.